What the? Play with Josh. All right, guys, welcome in. Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's Paint with Josh. Back in the studio with you today. You guys are looking fantastic. We're going to have a load of fun. Always got to do a brush flip. Pow! Start your day off right? So, I was watching Tanisha paint earlier today from Happy Trees Studios. Oh yeah, right down there. Yeah, we're starting low on the sky today, buddy. And she was painting this really cool little seascapey scene with this gnarly old branchy little tree that I really liked. And so I told her, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do my version of your little seascapey painting on my show tonight. So we are gonna be painting a little seascape with a gnarly tree. If you hang out and watch long enough, right? Went from our Indian yellow into our yellow ochre, excuse me. Then we're gonna go over into our crimson, just right on top of the brush. Get a fair amount of our crimson-y color. We'll rock it through this way. Might as well let it blend around. It doesn't need to just be stripes of color, right? They're all gonna blend into this really pretty color. Anyway, so, in any case, don't worry about having just stripes or keeping them all separate. Don't worry, that's the whole point, right? If we worry too much, then guess what? We're not gonna have any fun because we're gonna be out here worrying our butts off. And that's no good. Now, before we keep going, let's get back into our Van Dyke brown, the deepest, the darkest of all the browneries out in the night. All right, we'll come out here, plop down some of that brown, and we'll work it down from this side as well. Just mushing it on. Don't even have to cover the whole thing, right? I'm not worried about that gap in between. Guess why? It's gonna all mix together anyway, right? We're gonna move it, we're gonna blend it, we're gonna mix it. So, just like that. Now, let's get a little touch of black. Just our Bob Rossi black, right on top of all the brown, on top of all the yellow and the crimson and the brown, onto the black. Oh, I love it. It just dulls our sky down just a touch. It's gonna be amazing when we blend all these things together. Now, we can't very much blend the color together with all of this paint on our brush, right? We're gonna go wash it off. Gotta dip it into our odorless mineral spirits, our OMS. If you ever hear me say OMS, that's what we're talking about, our odorless mineral spirits. Let me shake it into a can, go straight into the beater bucket, pull it out. It's nice and clean, but you gotta dab it on a paper towel and dry it off, right? So even though it sounds like someone's knocking on the door, you just gotta dab it on the paper towel. Ooh, I like it. Guys, tell me where you're watching from. What's your favorite sandwich? And we're gonna come out into our lightest color first, right? As we start blending our lightest color first, who knows how far it wants to extend. And constantly be blending with this white. And I'll even show you, you can literally blend it to where you can't even tell where the white starts, where the yellow starts. Like, where is it? It's all down there, right? Out over here, and we'll mix and we'll pull, and then we can go back and put all of our big old clouds in and stuff. Just mixing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now that we start to get out into our darker colors, right, they're gonna wanna grow down and cover over our lighter colors, which is okay. They have to eventually grow down and mix together, right? Now, once we get up into here, ooh, lots of pressure to push on all that darkness. Lots of pressure, man, lots of reps. Pushing, 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 and the more that you blend it, look at the difference, right? See what happens? Those soft little things in the night, right? All based off our pressure. How far do you want the dark to come down? You want it to really come down far? Push on it real hard. Do you not want it to come down too far? Then don't push on it so hard, you stinker. What are you doing out there, right? All up to us. Man, that's a cool looking sunsetty sky if I ever did see one. Look at all those different little flavors and colors and all sorts of stuff happening out there, right? Now, you gotta decide how far does your sunset come down, right? All that color, I wanna be right down to about there for my water. That's where we're gonna start our water. So, lots of sky in this painting for sure. Now, my sky is not really as dark up in those corners as I wanted it to be because it's constantly mixing with our liquid white that we put on the canvas, right? Our canvas is wet with this white paint that we put down there. So we've got to go back and add a bit more. Darken it down how Josh likes it. There we go, right? Again, you might not want to mix with all of the paint still on the brush. We can start to judge and see just how far it's going to come down. You can see all of my brush strokes. It's because there's too much paint on the brush, right? So let's go clean it off. Into the OMS again, which stands for what? You guys know what it stands for? OMS stands for what? You gotta tell me. You gotta tell me. I love a dusky old sunset. Let's see. Odorless mineral spirits. Mindy got it. Mindy was the first one I saw anyway that said it. Odorless mineral spirit. And that stuff will take all the paint off of our brush, right? Can't use water. Way back when, my stepdad did a little experiment with me and showed me that you cannot put water and oil together. They just kind of coagulate and stay apart, right? So, seems to reason that water is not going to clean off our oil paint off of our brush. So we have to use that odorless mineral spirits. Look at that dusky sunset. The more we mix it, right, the more we blend it, the more it's going to spread out, become more evenly dispersed, just like a little ombre. Whew, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Nice and soft out there. Right, very cool. Very soft little sunset. Now, let's get over here. Grab just a gnarly old fan brush, right? And let's say we're gonna go toss in some faraway clouds out here. We're gonna get our fan brush, grab a little bit of white, and to make sure that we start far enough away, right, we're gonna take our clouds and pop them right back in here. Bang! Up into the sky they go. Just mushing the brush, spinning it with my fingers is all we're doing like this. Mushing it up there, getting all that white paint to deposit, right? Now we can go back over it, either with your 2-inch brush or your 1-inch brush. In any case, we're only using the top bristles, right? Kind of bent away from the canvas. It's not straight on. It's not straight like this. And kind of bent away as we mix it as it goes down. It'll start to mix with all the colors underneath. And eventually mix away if you mix it too much, right? So we get to be the judge of our little soft little floaters out there. Now, the more that you mix, the further and further and further and further away it's going to start to look because we're mixing it with those darker colors, right? Soft little puff, just a little poofer out there in the night, right? A little bit of craziness, maybe, just maybe. We had one more little puff way out here, right? Just enough to make our eye kind of notice those color changes. We're going to mix it up, push it down, get very soft, far away clouds in this guy. Soft, soft, soft little things, right? The more you mix, the harder pressure, the more it will blend away to where it doesn't even need to look like a puffy cumulus nimbus cloud. You can have a streak back off in the night back there, right? Just a little thing, little difference in color, way out there. Now, let's see. Maybe, just maybe, we're going to have a few more as we get down closer on our horizon. Maybe we got one that started way out here. A little bigger, a little wider as it was going, a little skinnier as it was going that way. So we can just deposit more paint, push it out there, grab up our 2-inch brush or your 1-inch brush, whatever. Kind of work this guy to the side a little bit. We don't need to get everything to grow all the way down. Soft little puff, right? Just a little doer out there in the night. Well, the sun set. Right? Maybe, again, we got this soft little thing. We can eventually blend away so roughly that it won't even do anything. We won't even be able to see. Literally, if you wanted it to blend away, you could mix it so much that you'll never even see it out there in the night, right? Now, let's come in and get crazy. Let's go the same brush. Let's go some of our, which we don't need any of the white. Let's go into our black and our crimson color. Oh, baby. More crimson than black, though, guys, seriously. All right, and let's say, now that we got our far away clouds, maybe we got some that are a little bit closer up. Maybe they're coming in there a little darker, a little more crazy, right? So we put that darkness out here, mushing it on, pushing it in. all these purpley dark bits of cloud out in the night. Wherever you want them to be. Go back with our brush again, grab it up, start mixing it down. Soft, 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 soft. We get those darker clouds out into our sky. Right? Again, the more you mix or the more you push, the softer it'll become. These really cool things as they're growing up, they're getting bigger, we're mushing it, we're pushing around the color. Right? Not everywhere is going to be exactly the same. Not everywhere needs to be as bright or as dark. Isn't that cool looking out there? Ooh, baby. I like that guy right there. That's a little floater in the night. What if we came back a little bit more of our crimson and our black out over here? Because we got lots of sky to play with in this painting, dude. What if we had a whole other little dude out here? Just all crazily puffed and purpled with all that black purpley color that we put in there. The crimson, mix the black down on it. Right? Come back in, we mix it up so softly. Out there, push a little harder. Soft, hard, soft, hard. It's all about what you want your sky to look like out there, right? Now, what if we had a different fan brush? Come back in, because our one is all covered in dark paint, so let's get something that has some white paint on it. We can come up underneath this cloud, maybe, perhaps. Just popping up underneath that darkness out there. Go back again, either your 1 or your 2-inch brush. Start to mix your white up over, under, over, wherever. Mix it out and about. You'll give yourself some softer little shadowy things. Right? You can mix it again. You can over mix it, and then it's not going to look like anything. You can mix it to your liking. You can have some light. You can have some dark. You get to pick what you want your sky to look like. Right? You can come back over your darker guys. Just like this, and we pop in just a little bit of light. Doesn't even have to connect, honestly. Come back over the top, mix it down. What does it look like? We get to decide as we mix and pull and mush. Right? Change up our little soft little sucker to this huge, just cumulus nimbus thing, just full of depth and craziness, right? You can even take some of that color back in here and just sneak it right up underneath our bit of lighter cloud. Sneak it back in there, right? Just with the softest little touch, guys. You can go back, you can change your clouds, you can do all sorts of stuff with this oil paint. It literally just stays out here forever and ever and ever, you guys. Now, what should we do with our sky? Let's drag it all the way up, right? All the way back and forth just to help flatten down those brush marks. And because our paint has been so softly blended out, we don't have any big streaks that are going to drag across, right? So you can work it literally as soft as silk out there in the night. Literally as soft as silk. Now, what if we got, I want one more big, just a monster. So we're gonna have a little bit more black into this guy. Maybe we'll add a little bit of our blue, a little bit of our crimson, but mainly crimson and black, right here, just like we did. Now, what if we had, because again, there's a lot of sky in this painting and our land's gonna start right about down here. So if we came back in and had this even darker, crazier bit of cloud in the front, right? Just monstrously stormy. All that purpley paint start to blend down, depending on how much you have in there, right? You get to mix it, pull it, spread it, push it, blend it, however far away you want it to be, right? A little pressure here, a little touch there, and all of a sudden, you are the master of your own universe. You want to spread it a little further? That's all up to you. What do you want your little cloudy deal to look like? And again, you can push on it and mush on it to give yourself extra land underneath, right? All up to you guys, honestly. However you want it to look is how it's gonna look. Now, let's get underneath that guy with a little bit of our, let's go a little bit of our bluey blackish color. Just a little touch, we don't need to have too much. A little blue, a little black. All right, get underneath here, and maybe out in the distance, let's just toss in this old little bit of water, right? All of a sudden we have a big old horizon out there in the night, right? How much do you want it to slide in or drag forward? Up to us, right? How dark do you let it stay? That's up to you as well, right? Depends on the amount of paint that's on your brush. Literally, back and forth, out into the night, right? However far you need it to be. And then we can start bringing it forward, adding details and all sorts of stuff, right? So, let's say we're going to grab a few little pieces of our light color, our white paint right out here on our knife. Let's start down a little lower than we think we need to because we have to work it up. You don't want to work it down. I've found that if you work it backwards, kind of grabbing onto that paint, spreading it back a little bit, it'll be a little bit easier. When you try to go forwards, you end up dumping too much of it on, right? And that's no fun. So, out over here, right? Come down, and then we go back over the same paint and try to work it up. See, we came down like that and then went up a little bit. All we're doing, little things, little scrapes in the night. Remember, guys, you can go get this painting if you go to PaintWithJosh.com. It's going to be the very first thing you're going to see out there on PaintWithJosh.com. So head over there, check it out. A couple little ridges of our titanium white in the night. Work itself back and back and back, right? Got our little faraway ocean back there. Now, I want to have my ocean actually come in just a bit more on this side over here. Drag it in just a little further, a little further, a little further. And that way we've got our one side a little lower, this side a little bit higher. We come back in and add our brown for our sanded stuff, right? Our Van Dyke brown, right over all this guy. Taking it out to meet the water's edge. Now with our liquid white that's on the canvas, it's going to make this brown brighten up so quickly, right? It's no longer as dark as it is here, right? It brightens up very fast. Brightening section. Now, we're not going to see a whole lot of this sand either. It's only going to be there for a little touch. Just a little touch of some. All right, come out here. Again, work itself back away from its thickest point. And then, work in one more little guy. Boom. One little touch. Back over here. Little things, a little bit of water out in the night. You guys, I'm telling you. Now we're going to come up right up underneath this water and make sure that it's the darkest point, right? Because right next to the water, it gets so saturated all the time that it's very dark over here. That way we can get that real supreme dark brown into a lighter brown. And that way we can come out across it again with one more little touch, a little bit of our liquid white and our titanium white out here. Remember, guys, go to PaintWithJosh.com if you want to grab this one. To the beach. Remember, we're not going to see a whole lot of this side. It's going to be all gone, so don't really worry about it too much. Out there in the night. Okay, now for the fun part. Let's say we had a big old mountain or a big old cliff or a big old something way out in the night, right? We need to make up a whole bunch of our Paint with Josh plaque colors. So, do you know the 3-color mix that it takes to make up Paint with Josh plaque? And we might as well, since we've already been using this brown color, we can throw some of our brown in here too. Mix that guy up in there. The brown will make it be just super dry and very firm to the touch. Very hard to work with, which is what we want. We want all that texture of all that thicker paint, right? Over here, over there. Well, mixing it all up. What are the 3 colors, guys? What are they? Do you know the 3-color mix? The 3-color mix. Black, blue, and crimson. You guys are so correct. You are so correct. I just love you all for paying so much attention every time we do these shows, right? So without you guys, who am I going to be streaming to? Myself? I'd be boring. Boo to the boring. Right, now let's get out here. We're going to decide with all this darkness, right? You don't even really have to do it with the knife. You could do it with your brush or whatever, but we're going to end up going over it with our brush anyway. Let's dump on all this stuff. We got this little place out here, literally mushing on all the darkness that we can get to go onto the paint. All right, our rock tends down over here. Just this crazy old thing, right? Pushing it down, mushing it, trying to darken out everything beyond this little thing over here. Will be all dark. Just because I want it to get real crazy low, right? Or eventually, we have all sorts of crazy rock scragginess that should come out down here, blend into our little sandy thing. That's gonna look really cool. I like it already, you guys. Okay, go back with our brush, lightly, trying to drag it down in the way that we think that the rocks would kind of flow, right? So not all of your rocks are gonna be just going straight down or just coming in one direction. right? So you gotta kind of imagine your rocks kind of flowing out. We can always go back and brighten up our sand, so don't worry about that. Gotta have a shadow back here anyway. A little of our cliff went off this way. Maybe this guy came down at this other steeper angle, and just dumping on this paint in this way so that when we go across it with our knife and our blade with all of our paint, it's gonna pick up in different places, right? Very, very cool little tree. Little rock, excuse me. Now, let's get on to our rock just real quick. We'll mix up a bit of our Van Dyke brown, a bit of our yellow ochre. And I guess there's probably a little Indian yellow in there, right down onto the base. Just like that. Let's grab a little of our crimson too. There's some reddish color in there. Oh yeah, that's a reddish brown. That's a sandy brown if I've ever seen one. Okay, we're gonna come off of this guy. Just very lightly in those directions, right? We're scooping up, literally removing a section of paint. Comes attached to our knife. Go down in different ways. The more you mess with it, the more kind of thick, chunky paint's gonna come off. So you get to decide how bright it is, how dark it is, all up to us, right? It needs to be very textured because it's the very foremost thing in our painting, right? It's the closest bit, this big old chunky bit of rock. So it's gotta stand out as being the closest thing. Pull it down in different directions, start going like more of a horizontal slide down. Starting to run out of all of our color back here. Grab up a bit more, slide that guy down in that direction, all up to you guys. Right now, in between all these little things, we can literally go back with that same kind of plaque mix that we created our mountain out of and throw in all of these textured shadowy bits that are going to be just as thick as all of our other textured paint that's out here. Right? Back underneath, create some little gouges in there, little things that you guys can do. You can dump on some paint, I'm telling you. I already know you can. Don't tell me you can't do it. Because you can so do it. I've seen you do it. You can do it. A little bit more of our color mixed up. Boom, boom, boom. Just a little bit of brownery out into the day. There we go. I like that a little bit better. Now, you got to go back over this guy with your brush, but just so lightly, right? If you do it too much, you're going to end up taking away all the texture. I like having it look just a little bit less than pure texture, right? Going up in the directions that we went down. Just taking some of that stuff away so it's not just so pure, right? Now, we've got to get out into, I'm planning on moving my whole gnarly tree too. Oh, it's going to be fantastic. I can already see it. Are you guys ready? You guys are going to crap your pants when this happens. Are you ready to crap your pants? Because that's what's about to go down. Let's use some of our ivory black from Meaden too. Awesome color. A little bit blacker than our Bob Ross black and a little bit more, look, I've never even used it before. Oh, now you're going to embarrass me. A little bit more wet in its consistency, right? So it should come off of the brush a little easier and be a little bit darker than that Bob Ross black. Because the Bob Ross black turns very purplish almost right away. Oh, that's a lot of oil. That's okay. We're gonna need it. We're gonna need it. All right, let's grab our, you might as well grab a fan brush because it's probably the skinniest and the widest brush that you can use, if that makes any sense. All right, we're gonna mix our ivory black. I gotta get that. Hold on. This whole, when you open up a brand new tube and you don't massage it well enough, it'll just leak all over you. There we go. Now we're mixing in our Bob Ross black with the plaque mix, right, into that ivory black, so it gets a little thinner and should come off our brush a little bit easier, loading up the whole stinking brush, because let's come down just, I want it right there. Pow! Oh no, what happened, Josh? Oh my goodness! It's a travesty, you guys. This big old gnarly tree is gonna be growing up out of this sucker like you wouldn't even believe. Maybe we branched off this way. A whole nother branch coming out that we can then go back and make much more thin as it goes out into the distance, right? Just a funky looking little tree, but you ain't never even done seen one before. Bang, real fat at the base because it's got to hold up all that weight and it's on an angle. It's like trying to just last, and these rocks are about to tip it over. Right? Look at that big old thing. Now, let's get out here with our liner brush, the old PaintWithJosh liner brush, and we're going to have to get some of our odorless mineral spirits. I'll show you what I'm talking about. You have to dip in your brush 5, 6, 7 times in order to get that OMS to have enough, right? Otherwise it'll, see how it wants to drip? That's exactly how you want it right there. You want it nice and drippy, nice and sloppy, like watercolor, right? Because it'll come off of your brush a lot easier. Say you wanted to make some of these branches just a little bit thinner as they went out, right? You wanted to pop off a little crazy arm over here. Maybe it's got a much bigger arm that went out that way, right? All up to us, guys. We are the masters of our treeniverse, and we get to choose what our scraggly old trees look like. Isn't this going to be fantastic? My goodness. You guys, all of these crazy old, just gnarly branches out in the night. Right? Where does it want to grow? How many little branches does it want to have on it? It's up to us, right? We get to choose how many get to come off, how many get to survive without getting broken off, right? All of them up to us. This is one scraggly piece of wood, you guys. Let me tell you that. Just a scraggly old monster. Woo! I like him. I like him, though. We come crisscrossing up through all these little branches. They don't have to just stay split apart. You want them to crisscross and push back and add all these extra bits of depth. Look at those clouds, right? You're not even looking at the clouds anymore. This whole time you're focused on your clouds, right? In the beginning, you're like, oh, I gotta get the clouds perfect. By the time you get to this point, you're not even looking at them anymore. So what's the big deal, man? Don't focus too much on the stuff that doesn't matter, you guys. There's lots of stuff out in the painting that doesn't really matter. It just has to be there. Just give us an indication. Right? And then you got your focal point that actually matters, what you're trying to do out here. This guy just wants another little bink right off of his thing. I could just see it. It just wanted it, right? Wherever you want them to be. Look at that PaintWithJosh liner brush, though. Just working overtime with the PaintWithJosh liner. Out here, a little longer, stretching off the edge. Remember, guys, you can nab this one up if you go to PaintWithJosh.com. Be the first one there, and you can grab this really cool little seascapey painting. I like it. Dink! A little crazy arm growing off of him. Right? How many little crazy bits does this guy get to have come off of him? That's up to you guys. Not up to me. Up to you. Right? Does he have a little kink and go bink right off the edge? Again, up to us. We get to decide where we want to have little flicks, little things, little bits here and there, and little pieces that grow off in different directions. Man, Tanisha had a good idea with this scraggly old monster. This gnarly tree, man. I like it, though. I like it, though. Dude. Bink! You gotta throw the bink in there all the time. If you don't do the sound effects, it honestly doesn't work. Just a little bink, a little bit of a branch that got done broken off. He didn't last very long. A couple little flicks here. Some of these flicks are so fine that you can probably barely even see them on the camera. Can you see that little branch right there? It's like the width of one bristle, just hanging out in the night, you guys. Remember, if you go to PaintWithJosh.com, you can purchase this painting right here before anyone else even has a chance at seeing it. Before we finish it, before we post it anywhere. You can have at it. Bink. Little bits over here. And this guy wanted to grow a little further. And have a little guy come off his edge. Oh, you guys. You guys and gals and painting pals. Oh, I absolutely love this one. I love it. All right. So you guys also have to start coming up with a title for this painting, right? The person that purchases the painting, if it does get sold during the live show, gets to title it and choose its title forever, right? So if you think you've got the best title, put your money where your mouth is, as they say, and grab this painting from PaintWithJosh.com. Wow, look at that tree. Holy moly, you guys. And you can choose what we're going to title it. Otherwise, we're going to kind of come up with it together as a group, right? So, you guys start typing in what you want to call this cool little painting out here. And then, I'm going to go throw some highlights on this little tree. Just some barky madness, like a madman. All right, let's get a little bit more of our yellow ochre, just to brighten up our brown, just a touch, just so it's not as the same color as our rock back there. Let's say if our light's all over here, kind of casting this way, maybe at some points we pick up just a little bit of our textury brown on that tree. All right, the more we kind of tap down on this guy, the more it's going to dull that paint. You can see the texture already starts looking like bark. Honestly, the bark is on point, you guys. That's fire. That is pure fire. Let's just kind of put a little bit more, right? Added a little bit more of our yellow ochre to the paint so you can see it a bit better. Right? Not everywhere is going to have the same amount of highlights, so you don't have to worry. You do have to have that bit of darkness around your tree. So no matter what, if you touch it in a place with some highlights, just make sure you got some darkness back there, please. I beg of you, please have some darkness back there, okay? This guy down here again, very lightly, adding our little barky touch, barky feel. And of course, we have to have that same amount of our dark texture. So we go back to the plaque and grab some of that darker texture back there as well. If you're going to have the highlight texture, you got to have your shadow texture too. And your shadows don't always have to just be on the one side. They can cut straight down the middle of that tree, right? Doesn't matter. Not every place has to be high lit either. Remember that. The sun's not going to catch every single branch, you know what I mean, the same as it's going to catch every other single branch. So don't you worry about it, okay? You don't have to do every bit the same amount of brown or anything else. And don't let nobody tell you do have to. Tell them to come talk to me, and I'll tell them to go themselves. All right. You guys, man, I like this one. I really like it. Just really like it. All right, let's get into here. We need to grab some more of our sandy color. I just want to get a bit of my white, a bit of my darker brown up here. We're going to try to work some of this sand color back. See that? And you can just literally scoot it and scoot it back as long as we're starting from the edge over here. Scoot it back, scoot it back, scoot it back. Boom, boom, boom. Guys, should we throw some sand? Oh, we got to throw some sand down there, don't we? Don't we just got to throw some sand into this sucker? I feel it. I just feel it. I'm gonna transition from my tree, the rocks. Oh, it's fabulous. It is fabulous. All right. What do you guys think? Should we throw a little bit of sand in there or no sand? Sand or no sand? Dude, that's a cool looking little painting, you guys. I like that. I like that. Blink. You gotta throw the binks in there. If you don't, it just doesn't work as well. Yes to the sand, we say. Sand, 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 sand. Sand and sand and sand and sand and sand and sand and good night. Alright, let's get out of here. We're gonna go sand. We need a very small fan brush. We need a very small amount of our OMS, our odorless mineral spirits. And we're gonna come out onto the edge, right, with our darkness first, start flicking little flicks, little babies. Right, because we don't have that much sand in this painting. And already it's looking more like sand, just with that one little flick of darkness, right? Just a few little bits out there in the night. Now we're going to go back, get a little bit more of our OMS, go into our yellow ochre color, which is like a yellowy, sandy sort of color. Out here along the edge of the palette again, we're going to drag the brush through, which bends the bristles back, launches paint at the canvas. So be careful, right? You got to start judging pretty quickly what it's going to look like. Okay, very cool. Now, for the final touch, you can go into your little bit of your liquid white, which to me, when you spray it out there, looks like little seashells, right? Little bits of like seashell stuff. And the more little white little tosses we can get out here, the more like sand it looks to me anyway. Very cool. Very cool little thing. Just by adding a couple little bits, right? Nothing crazy. Just some little bits, little flicks of paint. Look like sand out there. Really neat. Really, really neat, you guys. We can get just a couple more. There we go. A couple more bits of darkness. Just some darkness out there. Little flicks, little flicks, little flicks, little flicks, until I like how it looks. Fabulous. Okay. So, excuse me. This is the only show tonight, guys, by the way. We won't be back for a second show because we're taking Yvonne out for dinner for her birthday. So, everyone say happy birthday to Yvonne. Yvonne, happy birthday! And we're going to be going out to eat. So, if you guys want to get, this is your only chance to get a Paint with Josh painting today, is this guy right here. If you don't get it, I can't help you out any further tonight because we're going to be out to eat with the family. Oh, I love it. Just stinking love it. This one's going to be so textured, you guys. Woo! Woo, baby. I dig it. Man. All right. Let's get the last little bit we can, too, down here since it's all so textured-y. Let's just make our rock all textured-y down there, too. Very cool. Very cool. A couple bits of our black just for our shadows because we can't have all the color in the world down in the very bottom. Oh, I like it, you guys. I like that, as they say. So, let's finish it with a bit of color around the sides. Just a bit of color around the side. Over here, over there. Boom, boom, boom. Finishing our little rock. Just by finishing the edges with some color, guys. You can hang it unframed, right? You don't have to go get a frame for it because you finished the sides. Even with just a small little bit of color. The tiniest little bit, right, will make the biggest little difference. You got your yellow and your red and your colors on the sides over here. Just like that, down to the water line. Oh, it's fabulous. Okay, so we're gonna have to clean up some of these brushes, you guys. You are gonna have to tell me what to call this painting since it didn't get purchased during the live show, which means that we get to come up with it as a group. Oh, that's cool looking. That is cool looking, you guys. All right, let's come up with it as a group. What should we call this painting? All right, you guys let me know while I finish cleaning up all these brushes. And then if it does get purchased, then that person gets to pick the title out of all the suggestions. So, if you want to grab it, go to PaintWithJosh.com, and it's the very first thing you're going to see right over there on PaintWithJosh.com. Then we'll throw some birds in there. If you don't know how to do the birds, I can show you this. Super simple. Super simple little thing, the way I do mine anyway. Over here, we've got our sand, we've got our big old tree. I love this tree, by the way. This tree, oh, it's just pops off the canvas. Just jumps out at your face hole and says, here, check this out. Look at me. I'm an enormous branchy tree right here. Just wicked awesome, guys. So this is what I do for a living. I come up, I teach you how to paint, sell the paintings, right? That's what we do. So help me out, support the business, keep me in business so you guys have stuff to watch when you're at home, right? I don't get to go and clock in anywhere. This is my literal job. And if I can't sell the paintings, then we can't make any revenue. Right? Can't make any revenue, then the lights go off, and you don't have any place to live, and it becomes a bad situation. And then you guys have no Paint with Josh to watch because I won't have any place to stream. All right, let's get over here. We got, what, just the liner brush left. Okay. So we're going to go into our plaque color with our OMS on the brush. You can see it's like very wet because I dipped it into the cleaner. And that way, see the difference in the consistency right there? Then I can take some of that kind of thicker paint, get it into that really wet chemical cleaner, and that way it will become very wet itself and come off of the brush very simply and easily, right? Let's go up here, let's toss the birds just way out. Bink, bink, right? You go boom, stop, change direction. Again, you come down and then up. It's like a little V. It's a little boop, boop, little V shape. Not all of them have to be the same. They don't all have to be the same angle, right? You can have really flat ones. You can have ones that are like in the midst of flapping. All sorts. You get to decide what it looks like for your painting, that's for sure. Right? No one else gets to come in and say what your painting gets to look like. Right? Let me come over here and sign it right here. Boom! Big old JK. Just kidding, still mine. Alright, so you guys are amazing. Hit me with those titles. What are we going to name this guy? What are we going to name it, guys? Boom, boom, boom. Alright, it's got the birds, it's got the signature, it's got everything. It's got everything. Stranded by the ocean, so long summer. Reaching for the sky, got wood. Reaching to paradise, that was a good one. Birthday cake beach, dig it. Reaching for the seas. Solitude, sunset rock, I like that one. Autumn breeze, I can feel it. Three Musketeers. Whispers from the sea, that's a cool one, Christine Gordon. Edge of the ocean, happy birthday to Yvonne, of course. Mother Nature's reach. Guys, I like that. As of right now, Christine Gordon is in the lead for Whispers from the Sea. I like that title, you guys. I like it, I like it, I like it. Dark Tree Sea. Dig that one too. Last Resort of Life. That's a good name, right? All right. Christine Gordon, you have just got to title a Paint with Josh painting. How does it feel? What are you going to do now? Are you going to Disneyland? No? I mean, I guess it's not really the same, but congratulations on titling and coming up with the best title, in my opinion, of what we should name this painting, and not really winning any prize or anything, but having the pride of having named a Paint with Josh painting. I dig it. 1453. What are we calling it again? Whispers to My Ocean Friend. Wait, what's it actually called? Okay. Oh man, my brain will put the wrong thing. Shit, I already forgot it. Whispers to the Sea. Copy. Right there. This one painted on 8/24 of 2023, and we're all going to Paint with Josh. Oh my God, my dyslexia. There we go. .com. In order to find all sorts of other paintings and different stuffs that we've done, go to PaintWithJosh.com. I've got merch and t-shirts and hats and all sorts of stuff over there. But you gotta go check it out on your lonesome, right? Your own lonesome self. You gotta head over to PaintWithJosh.com, give it an old checkout. Perfect. 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 Bring this guy up here. Over like this. Boom. Bring this guy down just a little touch. Fabulous. 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 Amazing. Okay. Wash that brush off. Whispers to the Sea Friend. I know it was from the sea. I know. Has anyone said that? Or I might have said 2023, possibly. Possibly. Let's see. Hey guys, careful. Careful, we're going on a journey. Now I can see all your guys' comments over here. Perfect. This one came out amazing. I really like it. I'm surprised nobody got this one. This one came out pretty, guys. So if you do want to grab this painting and keep it forever, go to PaintWithJosh.com and give it a new home. Just adopt it. Be very cool. It wants to come live with you, honestly. It doesn't want to stay here with me. It knows it'll just be put to the side as soon as another painting comes up. All right, so give it a good home. Go to PaintWithJosh.com. And you guys are all amazing. I very much thank you for helping me title it and being here while we painted it, honestly. There's so many people you could watch on TikTok. I'm very happy that you guys are deciding to watch old Paint with Josh. Man, that didn't wipe very well. When there's tape on it, it doesn't become a very good paper towel. There we go. Get this guy all cleaned up for tomorrow's show. Remember, guys, there's no second show today. So if you're in the market for a Paint with Josh painting, this is the one for you. It's amazing. I thought it said Randy Savage just followed me as Randy Sledge. I was like, Randy Savage? Like, ooh, brother, let's get some paint on the canvas, brother. Dude, I could get a long wig and we could do Randy Savage paints like Bob Ross. Like, here's a nice little happy tree, brother, in your face. Get like the Hulk Hogan thing. Just have the hair like from here down and then bald on the top. Fantastic. I can't wait. I know. They both are. They're both up there having a grand old time. Just watching us. So, in any case, you guys have been awesome. I love you. Everyone tells me I sound like the Joker. So I might get a Joker costume. Now that it's about to be Halloween. Maybe we'll do some Joker paintings. Paintings dressed as Joker anyway. I've always wanted to get like an Einstein costume and then paint space. Like, here we see the little planets as they float around with the gravity. It'd be so awesome. I could totally do it. So, you guys, oh yeah, Halloween paintings are always fun around Paint with Josh time. We can make this one a Halloween one. Just put a little gravestone right there. Boop. I've got a really cool way to teach you how to do gravestones. So if you like Halloween paintings and, gravestones with crosses on top, really ornate little things that we can really get into if you got the right amount of paint and the right pressure and the right practice, right? 3 Ps of Paint with Josh. And beyond that, this one turned out amazing, honestly. They're up there wrestling. Honestly, thank you. What's that? Agent Kitty 00. Or is it 00 Agent Kitty? Oh no. I just like getting into my low voice. This is the Paint with Josh's tired voice. All right, you guys have been amazing. Thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate you. I hope you guys all have a fantastic, just a wicked awesome evening, honestly. I was really hoping this painting would sell, and that way we could see the light party, guys. Like the flashing lights and see what it looks like underneath all the crazy, trippy lights. But, oh well. Thank you, we will. All right, let's have a light party anyway, okay, right? I want to see what it looks like underneath all the crazy flashy lights. Do you guys want to see what it looks like? No, Jennifer, we're going out for Yvonne's birthday. So, there will be no second show. This is the only chance to get a Paint with Josh painting tonight, is this spot right here. Damn, that's cool. You guys want to see what it looks like? Me too. Unfortunately, rules are rules, guys. No, I'm just kidding. I make the rules, and I can break them. What's more fun, making rules or breaking the rules? All right, let's hit the lights. You guys ready? We're going to do a light party in about 5 seconds. It's going to last for about 10 seconds. So if you're light photosensitive, turn your phone away and do not look. I'll tell you verbally when it's okay to look again, right? 3, 2, 1, light party! Boom, boom! Look at those crazy colors. Oh, I like it. I like that, as they say. All right. It is now safe to look back at your phone. The light party has concluded. You guys have been amazing. You guys are always awesome. I always love you. Make sure you can go get this painting and other paintings. I got about 20 other paintings on PaintWithJosh.com. Not only that, shirts, hats, all sorts of merch items in way too many colors. Little buttons, if you're like a waitress and you need some flair, you get a little Paint with Josh buttons. Got official Painting Pals t-shirts over on PaintWithJosh.com. Pillows, puzzles, prints, posters, literally everything that starts with P, I have it on PaintWithJosh.com. So, you guys have been amazing. I'm going to get out of here and go get ready to go out for Yvonne's birthday and have a grand old time, right? Dude, Agent Kitty, right? So if you go over to my website, paintwithjosh.com, up in the top section is like the little 3 lines, right? And you hit that, it'll drop down a little menu. And then you go to collections, and then it'll drop down the menu of collections, and you'll see it'll be like other bits, right? Because it's not a painting, it's not a poster, it's not a a shirt or whatever. It's going to be in the other bits section. And they're a little 5-pack of buttons. I think one of them has my face on it, like, and then we got the Painting Pal garden gnome that Ari drew for us, and some other things. It's like a little 5-pack of buttons that you can get over there, and then you can pin them on your for some flair or whatever, if that's still a thing. I don't know. Thanks, Diane Marie. Appreciate you. Heard. Thank you. And they're not too expensive. They're a little 5-pack of things, and then they'll come directly from the factory. I don't even touch them. They're already there and waiting for somebody to grab them. So once you purchase it, it'll send you an email, and then you get the tracking, and then it'll send you an email when it ships out. It'll come right to you. Pretty awesome. I do offer painting classes, in-person classes here in Eugene. We've knocked out probably 8 or 10 of them so far, and it's always a good time. Always a good time to do. So, in any case, I love you guys. I can't wait to come back. We'll do it again tomorrow, since we're going out for dinner tonight. And make sure that you take your butt. You, right there. You, person. You, right there. Go to PaintWithJosh.com. Grab this painting before someone else does, because I'm about to go post it to 60,000 Facebook followers and 760,000. That's weird. Why are we at 60,000 on Facebook and 760,000? Like exact. Okay. But I'm about to go post it to like 0.75 million people. Okay. So if you like it, get it now before they have a chance to get it. Okay. Until I see you guys again next time, be sure to take your meds, drink your water, be nice to everybody, and just have a good time, right? Follow everyone. Be nice, smile at people. It makes a difference in someone else's life, right? So, until I see you guys again next time, take care. Have the rest of a good day, and